So, welcome back everyone. Yep, that's of course right. I am of course taking a look at Resident Evil Revelations 2. This came out in 2015 and is a sequel to Revelations 1. So, this game takes place during the same time as Resident Evil 6, or at least sort of. The game focuses on Claire Redfield, Moira Burton, Barry Burton, and a little girl named Natalia, and is a episodic game, meaning that, well, the rest of the game is DLC. You got the first episode at a certain point. Yeah, these kinds of games weren't really exactly the best idea, but of course the question is, how good was Resident Evil Revelations 2? Well, personally, I do think it was a really good game. I don't want to get too much into spoilers, but I generally think it's one of the best Resident Evil games. Claire and Moira are of course kidnapped at the beginning of the game and of course have to fight their way off an island. And, well, pretty much it's interesting. They have these bracelets that, well, that kind of can kill them if they get too scared, which is a really great plot detail, plot point. And of course, in the other campaign, we of course have Barry and Natalia, as eventually Claire is able to escape the island, but Moira is forced to stay behind. Barry heads to the island to rescue his daughter, where he meets Natalia, and of course the two start working together to find Moira. Of course, Claire also returns, and it leads to this kind of, bit of an awesome boss fight towards the end of the game. So, without giving away too much spoilers, I do think the game is pretty fun. The antagonist is also pretty cool too, and we do find out that it's Wesker's sister, Alex Wesker. I think it's a really interesting addition to the game, although it is a bit of a why question, because it just generally felt like they should have just let the Wesker legacy die out already. But of course, I can't complain too much. But Resident Evil Revelations 2 is a really interesting game. I really did enjoy the antagonist, along with the gameplay. It's a return to the survival horror aspects that the earlier games had, and it really made it enjoyable. Then of course, the enemies were also pretty fun too. This game was challenging in some ways, which is enjoyable, and, made it stand out compared to other games I did play this year. I also do like the story too, and I generally do consider this one to be a mainline Resident Evil game, even if these are, spin-offs. But, in my opinion, I think Revelations 2 is a really great entry in the series, and does deserve more recognition. While it's definitely a flawed game in how they did release it, as the subsequent parts with updates, you didn't get the entire game in one package. You had to wait a bit longer, which was kind of annoying, but at the same time, I mean, it's not like they didn't do this for like other Resident Evil games, so it's slightly understandable, but still annoying. Not to mention, some enemies were also kind of annoying to deal with too. But I will definitely say the game story was extremely fun to play through, and as I said before, it was a standout, and I definitely recommend people try this one. So, do I recommend this one? Yeah, I definitely recommend this one. It's a really fun game. There's quite a bit to enjoy about this one, and I look forward to being able to play for this one again. But that's all I really have to say for this one. But of course, next time I will be back with another video. I don't know what kind of video it's going to be, but stay tuned for that one, and thank you all for watching, and have a wonderful night.